Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I never know what day it is anymore. It's fine. It's fine. Welcome to the Merry Morning Show, where we hang out and meet every single weekday morning from now until next week, next Friday, which my husband and I have to solidify plans, but if we decide to leave here a day early, there will probably be no morning show on Friday. But right now, that's not the plan. So we're just going to go with it and assume that all week next week is also the morning show. Oh, it is Thursday, which means it is Friday Eve. It is a happy, happy day. Good morning, April. Good to see you. It is rainy and gross here. I don't know if it's rainy, but we live on the river and you can barely see to the other side of the river, which is not normal. So it's nice and foggy and gloomy. And I didn't ask you for anything, Siri. Oh, it's 72. So there's that. Good morning, Amberly. Um, and I'm here. I'm doing the things. Yesterday was I don't want to say lazy day, but a more low key day. I didn't do workout yesterday. And it's so cold here. Oh no, Donna, good morning. Alyssa, hello. Um, and I lost my train of thought. I heard my husband close the door. I closed the door for him, and then apparently he opened it back up. And I'm like, dude. And then he closed it again because I started talking. I'm like, see, I got you. I got you. Um, but it was a more low-key day yesterday. Went to Target, got outside. What's interesting is I'm not very good at, like, intentionally getting outside. Good morning, Tracy. Good to see you. Intentionally getting outside, even though I'm freaking in Florida. I'm not good at it because there's no good way to walk around here, really, because you have to walk in the middle of the street. And so I'm not intentional about it, which is ridiculous because having to go back to Minnesota, I should be spending as much time outside as I can right now, right? So I got out of the house yesterday. I noticed that, like, I can't, like, I can go 2 or 3 days without even leaving this house without thinking about it. Um, we got our first snow up here and I'm so excited. I don't care for any temperature above 70. Well, then that's great for you. How do you feel about really cold temperatures? Because you'd love Minnesota then. Um, but yeah, so I went to Target yesterday, got some shopping done, and watched a Christmas movie on Hulu and had meatloaf. It's interesting to me. The skinniest dish, meatloaf, can manage to feed so, like, we have been eating it for 3 days now for a family of four, and we still have some left. It is the greatest recipe. I mean, honestly, it's just, and it's lean and it's delicious. And oh my goodness, got the coffee going. Today, what's happening today? I have a massage today, which I'm very excited about. Hence the workout top, because I'm hoping as soon as I'm done here, I can do a little bit of a workout because I want to be worked out and stress out my muscles before my massage because I ain't gonna do it afterwards. Let's be honest. Um, but the masseuse gets here at 11 and is doing my mother-in-law first, so I need to be done by 11 because we massage in this room. It's 29 right now, but it will be 70 on Saturday. April, where are you again? That's I mean, I'm from the Midwest, so that shouldn't be very weird to me, but in December, that is very weird to me. That's very strange. I mean, I'm used to, I guess, like 35, 40 New Jersey. Okay, that's what I thought. In like the dead of night and then getting up to like 60 or so in the day. That's oh gosh, that's funny. That's funny. I haven't visited the Midwest, but I think the temps reach a little too much high and low extremes. I'm in the Northeast. It doesn't get super hot or cold here. Yeah, fair enough. That's good to know about the Northeast, actually, that the temperatures aren't too terribly dramatic. Um, Helpful information. I'm keeping tabs on what the weather around the United States is. Like in Arizona, it gets hot, but it's dry. Seattle, it doesn't do extremes, but it's rainy all the time. Hmm. Interesting. I cannot relate to that, Kayla. Not at all. Because my temperature, I am convinced I'm cold-blooded. I am like a lizard. And without fail, Once the temperature drops below 50 outside, it doesn't matter if I'm inside in a house that is being kept at 72 degrees. But for whatever reason, when the temperature drops outside, I have a much harder time being warm. And I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. Um, so I do not thrive well in that 30 to 50 degree range. Um, you know what else has dry heat? An oven. It's fair, and I've only been to Arizona once, but it was in, like, the spring or summertime, and it was hot, but I remember because you have to remember, I'm from the Midwest, so when it is hot, it is also wickedly humid because I'm near the lakes, and, so it's very, very heavy. So for me, when I went to Arizona and it was hot outside, it was like 85, 90 or whatever, it did not feel like that to me. It felt refreshing and like, oh, it's hot, but like it's nice, it's comfortable. It didn't feel heavy on my chest, whereas heat in the Midwest often does feel heavy on my chest. Um, if that makes sense. I prefer 3 seasons. I want warm spring, summer, so I can enjoy a cool fall and a cold winter. Yep, yep. And that's why my ideal, and for, I lived there for 2 years, but I loved the weather in North Carolina. I I loved it because we had all 4 seasons, but fall and spring actually lasted several months instead of the Midwest version where it's like it's hot as blazes and then all of a sudden the temperature bottoms out and it's fall for like a week and a half and then it's winter. Or it's spring. Spring does that too. It's freezing, it's snowing, it's freezing, it's snowing, it's freezing. It's 65 degrees outside. Um, and then like a week later, it's like, oh, and here's 80. Um, so North Carolina had that spring and that fall, and then winter. Good morning, Kim. Winter is milder. Like it gets cold if it snows. If it snows, um, the world shuts down. So like no school, no need to be on the road, work from home, all that. So North Carolina was literally my ideal weather. I loved it there. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here. I have been so randomly itchy lately, and I don't know what it's about, and it's making me insane. And I'm wondering if it's the tree. I'm wondering if it's the tree. But I have woken up, like, I have two, it looks like bug bites. It looks like bug bites. And I've been waking up with random bug bites, and I don't know where they come from. I don't know where they come from. But then my knee, for no reason, like I have a rash on my knee, which I scoot around when I'm on the floor on this rug, which is more like shag carpeting type rug thing. But that's never happened to me before. Where like there's legit irritation on my like. So I'm wondering if and like I'd have to research this, a doctor on TikTok, he's an allergist that he's been talking a lot about COVID and stuff, information and whatnot. I started following him, and he made a comment about I want to talk in a different video about Christmas tree allergies, and it got me thinking because and he hasn't posted the video yet. I'm like, post about your freaking Christmas tree allergies because I want to understand what that could be. But what I do know is that I'm allergic to trees. I know that, but I don't recall for the years that I've had a live Christmas tree here, I don't recall being so itchy all the time and having like random bug bites appear. And I don't know if they're actually bug bites or not. And I have a hard time believing they're bug bites because I haven't been going outside a whole lot, you know? And so like as I'm sitting here and I'm randomly itchy, which if it is the tree, could also explain why I'm like, there's something in the water. I'm feeling more tired than normal. Like maybe I'm just in a constant mild state of allergy. And like I can breathe and everything, except for the occasional like, oh God, do I have COVID freak out? But really it's fine once I take something for it. Like it's not, I'm wondering if it's the tree. Which makes me really sad because I love this tree. This tree is perfect. It is a beautiful tree. We have the lights on last night. My mother-in-law and I were sitting out here watching a Christmas movie, and it was just so picturesque and perfect words. And I love the tree. But like, why you gotta make me miserable, tree? Is it really the tree? Do random bugs get into this house and just find me and bite me? And because the bug bite is so itchy, like is again, do I have like a heightened allergic response happening right now? I don't know, but I'm tired of being itchy. This is a random tangent, but that's I'm like, as I'm sitting here, I'm like scratching, but also trying not to scratch the two random hives I have on my leg. It's just freezing in Philadelphia. Ugh. Ugh. Freezing. I tell you what, man. Today, apparently, is and just like that day. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say and just like that? I'm kind of excited. Um, 31 with a high of 39 in Idaho. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's just for fun. Let's look at what am I missing? What am I missing? It's 72 currently today with a high of 86. Can't complain about that. It's 34 in Illinois and it's 29 in Minnesota, where I live. It got cold. It got cold. On Wednesday, it's supposed to get up to 47, though. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Part of me is very ready to just be home, back at my house, back doing the routines. And the part of me that watches the weather report is going, why would you be dumb enough to leave Florida? Yes, the TV show on HBO, the Sex and the City reboot hits HBO today. And I am excited about it. I'm hoping that I get a chance to watch. I don't know if they're releasing like episodes sporadically or if it's all one thing, but I am excited about it. I'm super sad because Willie Garson, the guy who plays oh god, what was his name? What's his character? Stanford. Stanford on Sex and the City, the gay best friend, and the guy who played Mozzie in White Collar, who we loved him in White Collar. He was wonderful, passed away of cancer while they were filming. Like he showed up to work, even though he's been doing this ongoing battle with cancer, and managed to apparently film 3 episodes, and then the bottom fell out and he ended up passing away, which I'm so sad about because I loved him. Oh man, did I love him? He was great. I liked him in Sex and the City, but it was White Collar for me. Like that quirky, goofy character, he plays it so well. But I'm excited. I am excited about the reboot. I think it is so interesting to finally see, and maybe this exists and I just don't know about it, but like Sex and the City was about the women in like their 30s, right? Their 30s and their 40s. Good morning, Jordan. And now, like, is it for the first time that like these women are in their mid 50s? It's a show about being like fun New York in your 50s, like aging gracefully. Some of them not so gracefully, I guess. I cannot get over Kristen Davis's hot mess fillers on her face. It makes me so sad. Um, but like Sarah Jessica Parker, aging super gracefully. And the show is about these women who have gotten older and are still fancy AF. I'm so excited to see what they do with it. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, he was great in White Collar. He was so good. White Collar was such a great show. I was so sad when we finished that show. I was so sad, because it was the perfect TV show for us, my husband and I, because it had the drama and the mystery and the crime and like all like some heavier stuff, but it was also wildly hilarious. It was so funny. So it was like we were watching a serious show, but it was also a funny show. So like I was still like uplifted and oh my gosh, it was such a great show. We have not found a replacement for that TV show yet. Granted, we've just been working our way slowly but surely through our superhero shows, and we have not been doing a good job of that since we've been in Florida. I didn't love Sex and the City, but I loved White Collar. I enjoyed Sex and the City because, again, remember when I talked about how I need a new TV show that's kind of like that woman learning to live in New York thing? Like that's my genre. That's my chick flick. Is that genre the bold type? Like the Devil Wears Prada movie and things like that. Burn Notice. Oh, I've never even considered looking at Burn Notice. I know that Castle is supposed to be pretty good too with Nathan Fillion. And I loved him in Firefly. I thought he was so funny in Firefly. Um, so that's one I also might consider looking into. But so Sex and the City fills in that genre for me. that genre of, like, making your way in New York and making you feel a little bit fancy. I love the feeling a little bit fancy side of it. And especially since, like, one of my ongoing goals is to cultivate my own style and do things like that, and, like, having inspiration of feeling a little bit fancier directly helps me with something like that, you know? Which is why I love Sex and the City. Castle is good, it's a little more predictable. I mean, I'm pretty good at, uh, predicting shows. I predicted the movie that we watched last night. We watched this really cute, Hallmark-like movie. I don't actually know who produced it. It was on Hulu, called A Christmas Calendar, and about halfway through the movie, I knew the big plot twist. I was like, "There's no way that it's not this. I know it." And I was right. I was right. I'm pretty good at predicting things. But sometimes predictable's not bad. I don't know. I don't know. So, friends, um, tell me some Christmas things. Tell me some Christmas things. Um, because I've noticed that on this Merry Morning Show, we don't actually discuss anything like merry, holly jolly, Christmas. So I want to hear, what is your favorite? We talked a little bit about Christmas songs, didn't we? Or maybe we talked about songs that we don't prefer. I don't remember. But what is your favorite Christmas or holiday song? Mine, without fail. Like, I have a list. I have a list of ones that just make me go, "Oh, so good. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas." But the song that is Christmas for me is "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year." Must be Andy Williams. Must be the Andy Williams version. And here's why. It is because of the show choir that I was in high school. And not just the show choir that I was in, but the show choir that I grew up seeing every single year. So when we were in elementary school and junior high school, every year we would have this big Christmas assembly, and this choir would show up and sing the same old routine songs, but and it was always just like the best thing. And it's the most wonderful time of the year. They would come through and they would like shake our hands, and like you felt like you were touched by a superhero or something if they shook your hand. It was just so fun and just a joyful assembly, right? And then when I was in high school, I joined that show choir. I was in that show choir, and then I was the one doing the touring. And oh my gosh, and at the time, the playlist hadn't really changed. So many of the songs that I grew up watching and admiring from kindergarten onward, I got to sing and participate in. And the funniest part, and it's the most wonderful time of the year, is the opening number, and they do a reprise as the closing number. And that has always been how it has been. I don't know what they're doing now, but even when I was in high school, that's how it was. And, it's funny because my mother was in the very same show choir that I ended up in, with the same director. I didn't get to participate with the same director. He retired after my freshman year of high school, so I got to work with him as a freshman in regular choir, but not in the show choir. But I got to do his legacy in the show choir afterwards, and so it's the most wonderful time of the year. Was their opening number when my mother was in the show choir. And so my dad hates that song because he would be stuck going to see my mother in the show, and he got tired of hearing it. So then when my sisters and I started being in the show choir and we brought it home to practice again, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm living in my own personal hell," because the song has come back to haunt him years later. But that song to me, and the Andrew Williams version, feels very classic and is also almost the same arrangement as what we did in the high school. So that's why that is my favorite song. But my childhood favorite was "The Gift Goes On" by Sandy Patty. I do not even know that song. "Mary, Did You Know" is my absolute favorite. That is a good one, and there are some good arrangements of that song too. I think Pentatonics has a really good one. Um, Solid song, solid song. My other favorites are, like, it's more of a genre. I love the crooners, like the classic, old school 1950s crooners, Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, Burl Ives. That genre of Christmas music is so much more Christmas to me than like the recent pop releases of things, you know? And so there's just something about like it feeling all classic and whatnot. And even, Lord willing and we're alive in like the 2050s, right? Like 100 years later, I will still prefer that music that's 100 years old to what's new and recent, you know? I love the vibe that gives, that old school classic vibe. So like We Need a Little Christmas is a good one. Have a Holly Jolly Christmas must be sung by Burl Ives because of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? Um, that's my love. Oh, that's a good old Christmas classic songs. The entire Sandy Patty Christmas album. Come On, Ring Those Bells by E.B. Turnquist. I have no idea what any of those songs are. I have no idea. I was definitely raised on the classics with the occasional, like, Feliz Navidad has a special place in our hearts because I remember the it's positive, I'm bummed, but it also makes a lot of sense. Oh, no. Well, on the one hand, it's helpful to have the answer, right? It's helpful to have the answer so we can make some changes and hopefully solve problems. So I'm interested to hear whatever you're willing to share with me. Homeschooling took priority. Ugh, Lindsay, how dare you prioritize your own children? Come on. All classic Christmas songs. Jolly by Burl Ives. Such a good one. Bing Crosby. Yes. Yes. Okay, the little drummer boy. Okay. Yep. That's like the Peace on Earth one, right? Um, yes, that is the good part. Yeah, having answers is always helpful. It's always helpful because then you at least know what to do moving forward, right? Um, Solid Christmas songs, but you aren't going to like the suggestions. Oh, I am sure I'm not. And what I mean, we can talk about this later, but I will give you the suggestions that my protocol gives, and uh, you can decide what you want to do with the information. So we'll work through it, we'll figure it out. The one thing to keep in mind is that most doctors aren't actually trained in nutrition. They just have a standard information that they give you, but I am not trained in um, hormonal and insulin resistant health either. So you can take our information for what you will, trial and error, see what works and what doesn't, you know? That's also a good one. That is a great, funny, fun song. There's also a song that used to get played on my, radio as a kid, and I think they've stopped playing it. Now, granted, I haven't lived in Illinois for a couple of years, so I haven't gotten to listen to, like, the Chicago Christmas music videos, but there used to be a song called "The Pretty Little Dolly." And it was like this little girl, or maybe an adult that sounded like a little girl, that talked about like the pretty little dolly can sing, the pretty little dolly can dance, and like all she wanted for Christmas was this pretty little dolly. She can wet her pants, and it was like a comedy sketch, um, which I think is a funny one. It's not my favorite, but like it's one that makes me chuckle, you know? Oh, and also, unpopular opinion. I'll say it once. You will not be able to persuade me otherwise. My favorite things is not a Christmas song. Why it has become a Christmas song, I will never understand. It is a show tune from freaking The Sound of Music that has nothing to do, nothing to do with Christmas. Nothing. It is not a Christmas song. And it makes me so angry every time it's on a Christmas album, or especially when they play it during the Christmas music specific times on the radio. It is not a Christmas song. Leave it where it belongs. It ain't a Christmas song. And you cannot convince me otherwise. You can't. Mm. This is why having a coach is good. Yep. Um, Oh Holy Night and Hallelujah Light Has Come by Barlow Girls made my top 5 in my blog post. Oh, see, I do not listen to like the contemporary Christian stuff during Christmas time. I listen to the classic Christmas stuff during Christmas time. Um, No, it's not. The only part of the Christmas season because the brown paper package is tied up with string, which is stupid. Like, that's not a reason to turn it into a Christmas song. No. Dumb. It is my biggest pet peeve when it comes to Christmas music. That is not a Christmas song. And also, this will be a more unpopular opinion. I can't stand the "War Is Over" song. I can't stand it. Um, John Lennon, right? I don't know why. I find it obnoxious. It makes me crazy. There are so many other songs that I would rather listen to than the "War Is Over" song. Okay, so music, great choice. Next topic of conversation. Favorite Christmas movie? Go. I never grew up listening to the classic stuff. My dad's generally anti-Christmas tree and decorations. Yeah. Yeah, and I was raised on it. Like, Christmas season was a big deal because we were always singing it, and we were raised on the classic Christmas movies, and we listened to the Christmas radio station, and it was just and then, like, my grandfather and grandmother would be playing the Christmas music at their house, so it was just Christmas season was a lot of fun when I was a kid. Oh, I think Dominic the Donkey is funny. I think it's funny. I can't listen to it a lot, but it's funny. Um, what was really funny, so I follow the Pescataries. Gosh, what is their name? Hang on, I have to look. I think I've told you guys about them before. It is an American woman and an Italian man who got married. And so she started TikTok doing like making my Italian husband try X, and the it would be like Americanized Italian junk, you know? The Passinis, the Pasinis, Alessio and Jessica, and they are so stinking cute. And and he's embraced the TikTok life, and so she does a lot of like, try this, try that, whatever, and his reactions are so funny because he's like, "What is this? What?" And, she played Dominic the donkey for him, and he's like, "What is this Italian Christmas? There is no Italian Christmas donkey. What?" Like, it was so funny. He cracks me up. He's adorable. So if you need a good laugh, they are worth following on TikTok. It's so funny. VeggieTales, The Toy That Saved Christmas, or The Christmas Shoes. It's annoying people are obsessed with that song. Um, Jim Carrey's The Grinch, Elf and Claus on Netflix, and The Holiday. We just watched The Holiday last weekend. I made my husband sit through it. And it's such a fun I love The Holiday. It's such a fun movie. It's not my, like, all-time favorite Christmas movie, but it is a great Christmas movie. I love it. Um, do you know what I didn't realize was a Christmas movie when I made my husband, or I guess he chose to watch it on Halloween? Gremlins. Halloween weekend, he's like, "I've never seen Gremlins," and I talk about Gizmo, like, when if I have a little boy dog, I wanna name him Gizmo, so, like, I love Gizmo. Didn't remember that it was a freaking Christmas movie. Gremlins is a Christmas movie, y'all. Hi, Gracie. Oh, you're gonna make a little nest for yourself? My favorite Christmas movie is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The classic claymation. Is it clay or is it stop animation? It's stop animation. Good old with Clarice and the skinny Santa Claus that needs to fatten up before Christmas and the abominable snowman or snow monster. I love I don't know why. I don't know why I love that movie. And the Burl Live Snowman, of course. But it is my favorite, like, most nostalgic Christmas movie. All of the claymation movies. Yes, the claymation movies. Like, I also love Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which so much of that is so not politically correct anymore. And Oh my goodness. But I still love it. I still love it. It's just so good. Um, and I love the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen. I love those. I really do. New Jersey Italian, which is a completely different breed. Oh, Dominic the Donkey's New Jersey? I didn't know that. The Family Stone. Who's in that movie, Lindsay? Is that Is that a Sarah Jessica Parker movie? Or am I thinking of something else? I didn't see many of the Christmas classics until last year. All the Claymations, Miracle on 34th Street. I remember watching Miracle on 34th Street growing up. Back to regular show conversation. Have you watched Only Murders in the Building? I have not. I've never even heard of that. The Family Stone is great. Who's in that, y'all? It's a regional Christmas song. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea that that was a thing. How interesting. You learn something new every day. That's my thing for the day. The Italian Christmas donkey's from Jersey, not actually from Italy. That's actually really valuable information. Huh. Cool. Um, Sarah Jessica Parker and some okay. See, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Speaking of so many other famous people, did I talk about this already? Tick Tick Boom, y'all. Tick Tick Boom, the musical that was on Netflix. The scene for the song Sunday had me so starstruck. It was oh. If you're a Broadway person, go check out at least that scene. It is epic. It's absolutely epic in terms of star power. Um, Only Murders in the Building is with Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez. It's a series on Hulu. I've never seen it, but knowing that it's Steve Martin and Martin Short, I'm assuming it's a comedy, right? Although the last time I assumed based on the cast that something was a comedy, I was sorely mistaken. I started the morning show on Apple TV Plus. I thought it was going to be funny because it starred Steve Carell, Jennifer Aniston, and Reese Witherspoon. Solid comic cast, right? I could not have been more wrong. I could not have been more wrong about whether it was going to be a comedy based on the cast. So, is it safe to assume that it's a comedy with Steve Martin and Martin Short? Um, it's from New Jersey, New York area. Hmm, fascinating. I made the same mistake with the morning show. Whoops. My husband literally came out of his office and he's like, "What are you watching?" Because there were F-bombs like every 10 seconds. I was like, "I don't know what I'm watching. I have no idea." I never finished it. I got a handful of episodes in and it was compelling, but I had other priorities of things to watch. I wanted a lighthearted fun show, and instead I got this super heavy, like, whoa on the drama show, which cracked me up. I was like, I don't even know how this happened. TV show that I'm currently loving is The Crown. I just started season 2 of The Crown last night, and it is so well done, I think. I would love to know how much of it is based on truth. I'm assuming most of it. I'm assuming most of it. Like, I don't know what parts are over dramatized for TV, but like, I know that um, people in the palace. I don't think the queen herself has actually seen any episodes of it, but people who know the queen intimately have seen episodes of it and have given it the stamp of approval. But I think Claire Foy is doing an amazing job. I'm very excited to see what happens going forward. I am not excited, however, and this is totally and only a Harry Potter fan problem, but I think the person playing the most recent queen is the person who played Umbridge, which feels wildly appropriate. She looks the part, she can act the royal regal part, but I will not be able to not see Umbridge. And Umbridge is like outside of Voldemort, the most evil person in the Harry Potter series, in my opinion. You know, I've heard it's over dramatic but true to history. I've been loving it. I think it's great. I think it gives some interesting insight. I've never been like obsessed with the royal family or anything like that. My mom was way into the royal family, especially when I was younger. Um, but I was fascinated by the idea that this series is about about somebody who is still alive. Like, it's not like an homage to the queen after she has long since passed away. Like, no, queen is still ruling. And they made this show about her. And I think it's just so well done. I think I cried with most episodes. I was wrong too, but I'm not disappointed. Okay. I also hate Last Christmas and All I Want for Christmas Is You. I like All I Want for Christmas Is You, but it can't be played too much or it gets old. And I also really don't like Last Christmas. It's more like a whodunit. Interesting. Okay. I was seriously impressed with Jennifer Aniston. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I should give that another shot. I need to use the Apple TV Plus. I have like a free trial for it, and I haven't used it for anything that I want to use it for yet because my husband keeps being not available. I want to watch Smidgedoon. That's the reason that I redeemed this free trial. I want to watch Smidgedoon and Come From Away, which are both musical things. Um, I've heard Jennifer Aniston was just in a live version of The Facts of Life a couple of nights ago, an 80s show. I loved it, and I'm not ashamed. I didn't know it was live. I knew she was doing some new thing, but I didn't know that's what it was. Umbridge is the worst. I loved The Crown. I'm so mad they cast Umbridge. If she wears pink, I'm gonna freak out. I know, and here's the thing. It's like I almost feel bad for the actor or the actress because she did so well playing such an awful person. She did so well. But now for Harry Potter fans, like she has been branded as this sinister, horrible person. And she's not going to be able to let that like outdo that, you know? And so when we see her in like this awesome role, like I'm certain she plays a great Queen Elizabeth. I'm certain she does. It's going to be so hard to look past that. It's going to be so hard for me. Um, but it's like in Game of Thrones, the actor who played Joffrey Baratheon. He did such a great job being the worst human on the face of this planet that I'm like, how are you going to? And I actually think he quit acting after Game of Thrones and he's doing something else now. But like, how are you going to show up in any other thing and not be seen as literally world's most vile human being? Because you did a good job, because you did your job well, you know? Like it's just it's so hard. You guys would like Ted Lasso. You know, you are the like fifth or sixth person to suggest Ted Lasso to me. I really should give that show a try. Physical and Smidgedoon. Yes, Smidgedoon. Ted Lasso was amazing. Is that on Apple TV Plus or is that on Hulu? She was the same. It was the same in Maleficent. She was a fairy, and it bugged me. Yeah, that's so hard. That's so hard because like you don't want to fault the woman for doing a good job. You know, Umbridge is married to Carson from Downton Abbey. Interesting pair. I have never seen Downton Abbey. I've also never seen Bridgerton. Bridgerton, not what I was going for. Bridgerton. That's what I was going for. Defending Jacob on Apple TV's. Man, I gotta start watching the Apple TV Plus stuff. Apparently, there sounds like there's a lot of good stuff on there. Gracie, no barking, honey. Lay down. Thank you. You don't need to start a stink this morning. No. Lay down. Good girl. Thank you. Good baby. Um, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, before I was like, okay, I'm gonna let us go because I have stuff that needs to get accomplished before 11 o'clock this morning. But let's do the Bible stuff. Ted Lasso's on Apple. Thank you. I will have to give that a try. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. Um, so today, the Bible verse for the day is John 16:32 through 33. And these are the words of Jesus. A time is coming, and in fact has come, when you will be scattered, each to your own home. You will leave me all alone. Yet I am not alone, for my Father is with me. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. What are you doing, kid? And then our intentional action item for the day, faith. If you're on social media, share a story that shows the steps of obedience you're taking to love God with your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Interesting. Interesting. And then wellness. Mind. It is a mind one today. Memorize a short poem or scripture verse. That doesn't necessarily like make me think of like wellness goals specifically, but it could be, I suppose. So there it is, my friends. I love the amplified version of verse 33. I've never, yeah, the version I should preface with I use the NIV version of the Bible. I've told you these things so that in me you may have perfect peace and confidence. In the world you will have tribulation and trials and distress and frustration. But be of good cheer, take courage, be confident, certain, undaunted, for I have overcome the world. I have deprived it of power to harm you and have conquered it for you. Oh, so does the amplified version just kind of like go into a more broad explanation of things? Interesting. But yes, it is a super powerful verse. And it was the tail end of a long stint of what Jesus was saying. So it was just the very tail end of it. But it's super helpful. So, all right, friends, I'm going to let you go here. Happy, I said Thursday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. Tomorrow is Friday, y'all, which is great. Do something wonderful for yourself today. Not to sound like the Bones or No Bones Day guy, but like I love the No Bones Day guy, Noodles owner, who's like, regardless if it's a Bones Day or a No Bones Day, he's always like, do something special for yourself today. If it's a Bones Day, do something special. If it's a No Bones Day, do something special. I like the vibe he puts out. I like the vibe. So do that for yourself today, my friends, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care.